the situations that these inmates are in makes people turn. Because this guard was new. That guard was new. And then he witnessed his first death also on death row, which was the war veteran.
Now, how did that scene make you guys feel?
It was hard. I mean, it was harsh with them not even showing it. It was off camera. It was off camera death, but you got the gravity.
Can we give that guy an award? Well, I'm pulling up his name because I gotta put some respect on his name.
Find his name for me real quick. I'm giving the director an award, though. To be honest,
I mean the pacing on the movie is incredible. The camera shots.
But I mean, like without having to see him, so I'm like, oh my god, are they going to show this guy get electrocuted? They didn't show it, but they might as well have shown it because I could see it.
You hear the jolt and you see everyone's faces, and it's just like.
And the crowd, and I hate to say it because it is a crowd, they're watching. Their reaction, Michael B. Jordan's reaction, I thought was great because it just lets you know, like, in that moment, like, wow, like, I just watched a man be killed almost, like, savagely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what he said right before, that just put the icing in the cake in that whole scene. He's like, you know what? I hold no ill will or animosity to any of you.
Man,
I'm at peace with this.
It's his name is Rob Morgan, and the reason why we know him as well is because he plays the broker in the Defenders series. He plays the street broker in the Defenders series.
Oh, the guns and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's him.
That's him. Wow, give him give him whatever.
I mean, there's an article here.
Good.
He said that he channeled his grandfather,
bro,
when portraying that role. I mean, I
had no idea.
And when they started talking about his military background,
for sure,
and like I was just like,
well, so the movie goes to great lengths to humanize these people behind these bars, right? Which you have.
They were all innocent, at least the ones that they showed.
So the character, the military, the veteran, he was not innocent.
He wasn't innocent, but he had
serious issues to where he probably should not have been in the position.
Well,
he probably should have been out.
In the mental hospital.
At one point, they said he would wake up in the middle of the night thinking he was still in Vietnam.
He had PTSD.
And that's the reason why he built the bomb.
He was telling his neighbor, he was running outside screaming incoming.
Yeah, for sure. So there was a lot of signs, but the movie did go to great lengths to show, these people are human, and
these people,
that's right, these people are human, and they do deserve some sort of mercy. So a lot of great things. And again, for what it's worth, I like Brie Larson in the movie too. She looked like a human. She seemed like a human person in this movie.
She has a really big nose, and every time they show the profile, she's like.
Chris hates her.
Yeah. I didn't look that close.
I didn't either. I didn't notice that.
It was just every time they showed her profile, it was just like this big thing in the middle of the street. And I was like,
hey, Chris.
This big thing. All right,
How you feel about my nose, man?
I know, right? Oh, my glasses. But anyway, I like Brie Larson in the movie. So I liked everyone. I thought the acting across the board was good. I think I said that already. But like I said, I liked pretty much everything about the movie. The reason why I didn't give it a Molotov is because in these types of movies, I started to think about other movies that are like this, that are kind of in the same vein. Now, I cannot remember off the top of my head what the name of the movie was, but it was an old movie with Matthew McConaughey. He's a lawyer in the South.
Lincoln Lawyer.
Is it Lincoln Lawyer?
Lincoln Lawyer. It's Lincoln Lawyer.
It might not be. I think it might be older than Lincoln Lawyer. But the thing about these types of movies are usually the prosecution is formidable. And usually you have this back and forth with, you know what I'm saying? Like the defendant and the prosecutors, right? Like, I thought at one point when Michael B. Jordan, he had the guy on the stand who had lied and had Jamie Foxx's character, McMillan, in jail, I thought the prosecutor would come back with the Great Cross. You know what I mean? And he didn't. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, there was nothing he could do. Throughout the movie, the guy was just kind of like this whimpering, cowering, kind of like sniveling
But you know,
he never came across as.
At one point, like Michael B. Jordan calls him out when he's at his house. He's like, I'm here to protect the people of this county. He was like,
right, but that's later in the movie, though.
I know, but the role that he played in this movie, like even like I guess it's a real story, so
right, for sure.
Person, like he was so worried about protecting his job, protecting the people, and like
right,
and like just protecting his image or whatever, that
right.
he didn't care about what everything else. As long like he was gonna allow Michael B. Jordan to make a fool of himself because he thought that there was no way this was gonna happen. I don't think he was
right for sure. For sure, and I get what you're saying, but even in all of that, because in all of those movies, those people are, in other movies that I can think of or that come to mind, the opposition, they have all of those same worries and traits that they're dealing with as well. You know what I mean? Their profile, you know, they got the town on their side, or, you know, whatever the case may be, but they are stronger in stature and, you know, seemingly just embodiment of the character. This guy never had that. And when Michael B. Jordan kind of like, and mind you, Michael B. Jordan at this point is playing a lawyer who had never been in court before. Like, you just got out of law school. You're going up against someone who is supposed to be seasoned.
But the thing, I mean, the truth makes you stand tall, right? So, like, I mean, dude just didn't have the truth on his side, and I think he figured that out, because I don't believe that prosecutor was in on the whole scheme to.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the movie, he basically says, so Michael B. Jordan sets up a meeting with him. He's like,
right.
Hey, this is before my time. I saw
that part.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
And I'm just letting you know, like, this is what it was before I got here. You know, you're more than welcome to try, do whatever you want to, but this is how it's going to be.
And they're really defensive prosecutors about cases that they've tried and won, because they want to have a perfect record so that they can run for DA.
Understandable. For sure.
Whatever, office. And I thought that it just added more to the movie, because it was like, this dude has nothing. He's got nothing, and yet still, somehow, some way, they're managing to keep this innocent man on death row.
Right.
And it made it just that much more powerful when he kind of limp-dicked and said, yeah, I'll go with the...
I mean, but see, for me, it didn't do anything. Because it's like, that's the position you're going to take, because you're kind of weak.
You also have to take it with the fact that this is, I don't know if this is exactly how it happened, but it has to be something similar.
And I'll give you that. But so we know it's based off a true story. Like, it's not like how it went exactly. And it's, usually in storytelling, when they're based off a true story, the writers will take liberties with certain things, right? In this situation, for me, I guess me looking at it as a sort of like law, courtroom type movie or whatever, it was just missing that element for me.
Yeah.
And so, like,
because it's not a law courtroom type of movie. Like, how much time did they really spend in the courtroom? I mean, maybe 10 minutes out the entire movie.
Maybe. Maybe as much as any other movie where they're kind of going through the same type of situation, like, because they're telling the whole story that encompasses everything, all the racial discrimination, the stuff that Michael B. Jordan had to go through, the stuff that the other inmates in prison had to go through, their families. I just think that for when they did get to the court parts of it, I thought Michael B. Jordan was great, but he didn't have a challenger. So it's like,
he did have a challenger.
He didn't. The prosecution.
The system was his challenge.
I see where you're going with that. I think it wasn't necessarily he had an opponent physically he had to go with.
But usually, though, that's the thing, though. Like, again, it's a movie, right? Like, usually the characters embody certain things. Like, usually in these types of movies, certain characters will embody that system, right? And they're fighting for that system. There was no one there really fighting.
I think the person, but I think the person that perhaps did embody that system of injustice is perhaps the sheriff. I mean,
but he's barely in the movie. He kind of
buzzed in the background, but he was that lurking kind of like, we see him and he's staring at the.
Because he's even there, like
he's there. In the
what I'm saying is he's there, but
he's the reason why all the evidence is made up.
For sure, so they should have made him a bigger part of, like, they should have shown him more or made him more of the
see,
villain.
he was just a cog in the machine.
I would
But
have.
that's what I'm saying. It's storytelling.
More of like I don't know the real story, but that's probably the most fascinating thing about it. Is like being able to see this, as an adult, because all this stuff happened when we were kids.
For sure, absolutely.
And I don't know if they ever found the girl's killer or not, but
they did.
I would have wanted to see some more of the behind the scenes stuff, like what they were supposedly trying to hide, because it's clear that they're hiding something.
I thought that they were going to uncover something towards the end.
Well, like they never found that girl's killer. Like they never found that. So you really can't do too much with that, because there's no big, unless you're going to like take a big liberty with that and make up something as far as that goes with that. But like I said, at the end of the day, for me, as far as storytelling goes, Michael B. Jordan didn't really have an opponent. Like, they tried to make it like everyone in the town or the system, but it just wasn't very strong. And when he had to go to court and Michael B. Jordan had to make his arguments, I'm like, well, of course he won. Like, there's really no one there holding him back. So like, just even the fact that the judge was just like, oh yeah, I heard what you said, and what you said makes sense, but no, like, it seems, just in the setting, is like, it seems implausible. And maybe that's how it actually happened. Who knows? I mean, they might.
Well, I mean, when somebody gets on a stand in a court of law and they attest to something, and then they come back and it's not an amendment. They're literally attesting to something completely different. That raises some questions, like, to their credibility. Can we believe whether or not this person is telling the truth now? Did he tell the truth the first time around?
For sure.
Is he being coerced? I mean, I don't know, man. The one thing in that movie that made me feel like I was just like, where the hell did he get a 60-minute interview from? How did that happen? Where did those connections happen?
I don't. Yeah, no,
that came out of nowhere.
So
but I rolled with it, so
it explains it, because he said he couldn't get anything done in the city or even in the county, so he went to the state capital, Mobile, and he went up there and he talked to the news stations out there, because he was trying to get it more national coverage. He felt like,
was I looking at my phone now?
Yeah, he must have.
He felt like, because
not exactly.
It was after that first trial. They're like, no, we're not going to do this. Right. And they went up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, the only way I'm going to get the Supreme Court to be able to look at this is if I give it national attention. And so that was his whole plan behind it. He started doing the news interviews and stuff like that, so he can bring more national attention to this case. I mean, so they forced the hand of the state.
For sure. Like I said, I get that. For me, like, it was just missing. It was missing a villain. It was missing the bad guy. I don't know. That's probably the reason, like I said, I couldn't give it the Molotov, just because, like, dude, I need a bad guy, man. I need a bad guy.
Critical sometimes.
Nah,
yeah, you're so simple-minded, bro. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No, I'll just say, like, the movie just needed a bad guy. It didn't really give me the bad guy.
Was a bad guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you, like, again, it's writing, guys. Like, someone has to embody that. There's always a character who embodies the thoughts, the feelings of the town.
There were several.
And like you said, I'll give you the sheriff.
There was the sheriff. There was the prosecutor.
But where was the sheriff?
It was the dude that it was the guys that were whispering on the phone talking about, we're going to blow up your home.
You're making my point. You're making my point.
What's your point?
It was everyone.
There was a bad guy.
It was everyone, and it was no one. That's my point. There was no guy that Michael B. Jordan had.
It was the system of injustice.
Michael B. Jordan, right? But usually, again, my point being is usually there is someone who embodies that. There was no one who embodied that, and at the end of the day, you never really, as you know, you're going in a court case. Usually, you're volleying against someone who's supposed to be either your equal, or maybe he was supposed to, maybe be your better. And in Michael B. Jordan's case, I would assume be your better. This is your first time in court. Like, not just even just trying, like, murder cases, dude.
You're looking at it as like a mano y mano. The way I saw it, I saw the DAs, like, I'm so above you, I don't have to do this. I don't have to argue against you.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is that there was no point in time where we got anything that ever said that this DA was a competent or better lawyer than a first-time person who went into the